The Palestinian resistance responds to Israeli aggression, causing damage in Israeli settlements. And the Syrian Arab Armed Forces target terrorists in several areas and restore security in Sheikh Said in Aleppo. Iranian forces carry out large maneuvers to assert their readiness to repel any foreign aggression. Good afternoon. Israeli warplanes renewed their aggression on the Gaza Strip. They raided several places. In retaliation, the Palestinian resistance fired a rocket against the Israeli forces of occupation. This created panic among the Zionist settlers. The rocket fell in the settlement of Natioft and to the east of Gaza, causing considerable damage in the electric network there. The Israeli aggression led to the death of more than 6 Palestinian martyrs and the wounding of 40 others during the past 2 days. Patriarch Kirill of Moscow and Theopolis III of Jerusalem of the Orthodox Church held a Mass last night praying for peace in the Middle East. The Mass, which was attended by a large number of pilgrims and clergy in Jerusalem. This was a central activity during the tour of Patriarch Kirill in the holy places in the Middle East, which he is visiting for the first time since February 2009. The Patriarch had visited the Church of Nativity in Bethlehem, where he held a Mass. His visit came to express solidarity with the Palestinians in shadow of the attacks of the Israeli forces of occupation against their holy Islamic and Christian shrines. The People's Committees in al-Yarmouk camp said that the armed terrorist groups are taking advantage of shedding the Palestinian blood, using it in their war against Syria. In a statement, the People's Committee said that the terrorist group's persistence to bombard the Palestinian camp necessitates a firm stance by the Palestinian factions against those groups and those Arab regional and international parties who support them. Terrorists had bombarded the camp by mortar shells yesterday, killing and injuring many people. The Palestinian factions also called for a quick, clear and a firm stance to expose the conspiracy of displacing Palestinian refugees, forcing them out of their camps, dealing a blow to the right of return. The Syrian Arab Armed Forces continue their national task of purging the city of Deir ez-Zor and its countryside from terrorist groups, which created panic and chaos. A unit of our armed forces attacked the so-called Al-Fuad Brigade and destroyed their pickups in the street of Fuad Cinema in the city. An official source in Aleppo asserted that what has been broadcasted by some TV channels, which are partners in shedding the Syrian blood concerning the terrorist takeover of an air defense battalion in Handarat, Aleppo countryside, is completely untrue. The source said that those reports were just a lie aimed at raising the morale of the terrorist groups who received painful blows by our valiant soldiers. The source added that a group of terrorists tried to attack the air defense battalion in Handarat, but the guards fended them off, forcing them to flee, leaving their weapons behind. Meanwhile, an army unit hit 5 vehicles loaded with weapons and ammunition heading towards Beni Zaid in al-Yarmouk and killed all the terrorists on board. Another army unit destroyed 4 cars equipped with Dishka machine guns, eliminating a large number of terrorists from Jabhat al-Nusra group in the big square in Kafr Hamra. Also, our army declared the area of Sheikh Said as safe after the terrorists had wreaked havoc, killing and injuring many innocent people there. Within the framework of targeting national potentials, an armed terrorist group assassinated director of the industrial city of Hesya, engineer Khalid Saad Azzuddin, along with engineer Yusuf Ibrahim Tlas and the driver Yusuf Mahmoud Tlas, near Qadish gas station in Homs. Russia asserted today that it supports settling the crisis in Syria peacefully by the Syrians themselves and without any foreign military intervention. Russian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Alexander Lukashevich said that the main issue for his country is to know how far the Syrian opposition is ready to work on the basis of resolving the crisis by the Syrians themselves, without a foreign military intervention, through dialogue and within the framework of Geneva Convention. Lukashevich added that Russia starts from the principle that anyone who thinks of modernizing Syria democratically, respecting its sovereignty, independence and territorial integrity, should comply with the UN Security Council's resolution and the final communique of the Geneva meeting. Syrian citizens met their Russian friends in Moscow in a stand of solidarity with their homeland. The stand was called for by the National Union of Syrian Students in Russia and the Russian Organization of Anti-Globalization in coordination with the Syrian community in the Russian Federation. They denounced foreign intervention and the terrorist explosions in Syria. They raised Syrian flags and greeted the Syrian army, also expressing support for Syria under the leadership of President Bashar al-Assad, pointing out that the Wahhabi oil sheikdoms in the Gulf and Turkey, supported by the imperialists of Europe and America, were standing and sending mercenaries from around the world to destroy Syria and to massacre the citizens. They expressed gratitude for Russia's noble attitude of supporting the principles of right and justice in Syria. Syrian citizens and the Syrian community in Sweden stressed that their stand by their homeland is steady against foreign plots. They expressed pride of Syria, whose people foiled the foreign conspiracies and clung to their national unity. They held a march through the streets, raising Syrian flags and stressing the importance of national unity and their loyalty to their homeland with dignity and pride. The leader of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, Brigadier General Amir Ali Hajizadeh, stressed that an American drone tried to enter into the Iranian airspace last week. The drone was attempting to carry out an espionage mission and gather information related to oil fields and the movements of oil tankers. The Iranian official pointed out that the air defense systems carried out the required procedures in a timely manner, affirming that Iran will not go easy when it comes to its national interests. In related news, the Iranian armed forces started the wide-scale maneuvers in which their land, naval and air forces are taking part. The maneuvers are called the Guardians of the State No. 5. This came to confirm the readiness of the Iranian forces to repel any foreign aggression. The units of the Iranian armed forces spread in the eastern part of the country, starting large-scale maneuvers which are being done in cooperation with the Islamist Revolutionary Guards and the popular forces in 8 governorates. In Yemen, the oil pipeline stopped supplying oil through the main export pipeline after being blown up in 2 different locations. A governmental source said that armed men blew up the main pipeline, which supplies the crude oil to the main exporting port on the Red Sea. Ubaida Valley, west of Yemen, the Ma'rib pipeline supplies 110,000 barrels of light crude oil per day before it has been a target of several attacks. With this, we conclude our news for today. Stay with us. After the break, Denise has the latest in economy. For more details, you can visit our website in English, www.syriaonline.sy.